Tulsa World. Saturday, April 1st, 1944. Page 9. Enemies at Hex House, Girls Becoming Friends. By Margaret Smith. Tom Evans, the father of Virginia Evans, said,
I believe they were bitter enemies while living with the woman. I'm sure they never talked to each other then, because Willetta had never found out that the picture Mrs. Smith represented as her husband, Mr. Fontane, was really Virginia's cousin. So they couldn't talk much. Mrs. Smith tried to make them feel all the time that they were enemies. But I think they'll become the best of friends now. Willetta and her brother and Virginia and I ate together at a restaurant last evening, and the girls laughed and talked together over things that had happened and were real friendly. Oh, you'll see a different girl. She's in better physical condition now than she's been since in 1932 when she was graduated. You know, everybody is wondering how a fellow like me came to be duped out of so much money. I do too. 99 out of 100 people wouldn't have been able to dupe me like that. But I thought Virginia was crazy, not hopelessly, but temporarily. She knew every time when I was coming. So, the woman would black her up and keep her up all night or something so she'd look tired. Then she would pull out some of her hair and tell me that Virginia did it. So I thought she was temporarily insane. She'd had sinus trouble for a long time, and I thought that was driving her crazy. I was unaware that she had been employed all during that period. I believed she was bedfast. I just wouldn't believe it and had them get out the records to show me when she actually started to work at one of the places. She took a new job 3 or 4 days ago and is going back to work tomorrow. She has been living at a South Boston address since last August but made frequent trips out to Mrs. Smith's home. I know she must have had her out there to continue the spell during that time, and I know it must have been while Willetta wasn't there. I was a pretty sad boy when they called me up and told me about this. But they began to see a little later I had a sense of humor. I had sent Virginia many packages of clothing and boxes of chocolates from my store, but I'm positive she received none of them. I brought Marion, my other daughter, to Tulsa on Friday to help Virginia pick out some new clothes. She's worn old rags for so long, she won't know how to act.
Marion Sample, the sister of Virginia Evans, said, her first purchase made was a pair of spike heel shoes. She's certainly thrilled over them.
Tom Evans. When asked about his wife, I don't see how she stood it all this time. Virginia wrote several cruel letters to her mother. They were in her writing, but someone else did the writing, don't you see? The woman influenced her to write those words.